everyone, how are you? Welcome to my channel. It's lovely to be with you once more. I hope you have been well, and I hope you enjoyed my last video about steaming your clothes. I got a couple of calls, people asking me about where to get steamers. Actually, I've had they've run out in some stores, so I think that's a good thing, and I believe that it's going to help you. If you haven't watched some of my videos, please do go have a look at them. Today I am going to talk about actually something I've been planning to talk about for quite a while, but I was out for lunch last Friday, and I noticed something. So this particular thing that I noticed made me even more eager to do this video for you. It's to do with dating. Oh, first of all, before I forget, please like, subscribe, and share this video as much as possible. I'll be very, very grateful. Just click the subscribe button below. I've been wanting to talk about dating for quite a while. It's such a wide topic. We had a dating etiquette session earlier on during the lockdown. And on one of the groups that I am admin on, I'm from Fresh Peaches, I think, we asked a question on dating, which got must have been about 2,000 comments or something. It was quite amazing. It's amazing what people go through, what people's expectations are on dates. So this is a beginning of a couple of more videos to follow. What I wanted to get to today, to talk about today, is a few no-nos for ladies. I'll also get into the gents in the following videos that come on, but let's talk about ladies today. There are quite a number of no-nos, but these are just a few, and I'll be naming a few more later on as we go on throughout these coming weeks. So ladies, these are dating no-nos for you, okay? These are dating no-nos for you. Some of them, of course, coming from my side as an etiquette coach, yes, definitely, but then also as someone who observes people's behaviors quite a lot, as well as just common courtesy, I should say, and then also a bit of common sense, what you should and shouldn't do, what seems right, what doesn't seem right, things that will make you uncomfortable, so it's better to avoid them. So just a few tips here and there. So what I noticed on that day, last Friday, I noticed a couple, sitting at a table. They actually came in a bit later, and they sat at a table close to us. But the lady at the table wore her shades. She wore her shades from the moment she walked in to the moment she stepped out. So, of course, this can raise a few questions, or it doesn't matter, but I think a bit of eye contact on a date, maybe they were not on a date anyway, but whoever you're talking to, I think they deserve the courtesy of having a bit of eye contact at least. It was a lady and a gentleman. I don't know how you're going to see this. I know some of us will say, of course, it doesn't matter really. It's her style. She's supposed to do whatever she wants to do. But remember, what I'm sharing with you right now are just a few things that make you seem courteous, because you need to seem courteous to the other person, to whoever you're talking to. It just shows a bit of respect. Of course, unless you're Anna Winter, and you always have your shades on and that's your look, well, I can't say much. But I think it's out of respect, especially maybe if somebody is buying you the meal, okay? If somebody's buying you the meal, to please just take off your shades, just for those couple of hours. Talk to this person, let them see your eyes, your smile, and you don't seem so aloof. Unless you're hiding from someone, or you don't want to show your emotions or something, or maybe it's a medical issue, but it's something I thought I should mention, that our shades, just for a little bit, take them off and show respect to the other person. So that's where we started from. I don't know if that's our number one or we just get into number one. I just needed to mention that. So our number one, which I mentioned quite a lot, ladies, a no-no, jumping into it, is always put your handbag away from the table. Do not place your handbag. This is something else I noticed that day, so I needed to mention it, put it in quite quickly. It wasn't among my 6, but I think I should mention that over and over again. We do not place our handbags on the tables, however pretty they are. Not at a dining table, not during a meeting. Your handbag always goes on your lap, or on the floor, or the side of your seat, or at the back. That's where your handbag should sit, but never on the table. It is impolite. Okay, I know you've seen this in some of my other videos, but I thought I should say it again for those who might not know. Okay, so ladies, no handbags on the table. So our number one, these are going to be so randomly placed, but I just thought I should just mention this one. Do not order for spaghetti on your first date. Okay, these are dating no-nos, usually first date no-nos. Okay, do not order for spaghetti on the first date unless you have gone to an Italian restaurant and it's strictly, you know, you have to order some pasta, some spaghetti or something. But I would also avoid that. I would do a different kind. I would not do spaghetti just because it's difficult to eat for most people, and it will slap, and then, you know, it will fall onto your dress, your pretty dress, or your face. You have to keep on wiping. So I think I would avoid spaghetti on a first date. I could order for it, you know, third date, fourth date, it's okay. But I think for a first date, because you're making, you know, a good first impression, you could try to avoid any food that's a bit difficult to eat. You would avoid that. Any food that's a bit difficult to eat, just avoid that. Eat something simple, something you can cut with your fork and knife easily, eat, chew, and not struggle with. You shouldn't be struggling with food at that point in time. Finger food too, maybe you could avoid it then if you can, unless you're both having, you know, it's a kind of date where you're both having finger food, which is okay. But please, ladies, just avoid spaghetti because it will splash all over you and it will make a mess. And then you have to open your mouth wide in case now you have to, you know, when you pull out the spaghetti, no, you know, unless you're really, really good at just at eating spaghetti and knowing how to eat it correctly, which I obviously teach in my etiquette class. But otherwise, I'd avoid that on a first date. Secondly, now this one might get me a bit of, you know, questions, you know, but what drink do you order for? Or what drinks should you actually avoid on a first date? Again, we are making a good first impression. If I were on a date and it's dinner, I wouldn't order for a beer, ladies. I know my friends are going to shoot me for this one. They love their beer, some of them. But beer on a first date, especially at a dinner, no. Ladies, we can always do beer later. Order for a glass of wine, order for some juice. You could order for a soda, yes, you know, water, or a cocktail depending on where you are. Something more feminine, something lighter. But a beer on a first date, ladies, if you can, you do a red wine, do your white wine, you know, and depending on what you're going to eat, but order for something softer. Again, making a good first impression. You can always have your huge beer glass after the date. Maybe if you go out for drinks after the date, after the dinner, then maybe you go out for drinks and he's having his beer. You've gone to a jazz bar or something, then maybe you could have your beer if you really want to. But even then, you could do something lighter still, okay? Avoid, should I say, a whiskey still at dinner. Or lunch, you know, you order for a whiskey straight up. This is your first date with a gentleman and you immediately order for a whiskey with your meal. Ladies, no, let's not do that. Order for something lighter. Remember, you want to look a bit feminine, you want to look a bit softer. Not that it's not working for you, it's actually working for you. Trust me on this, okay? So beer, hard liquor, no, not on a first date, especially if it's also a meal. You can start doing those later on as you get to know each other as it progresses. Then also why you shouldn't do the hard liquor anyway, especially if you know you could not maybe control how much you drink. You need to look into that, ladies, okay? So be able to control what you drink. The lighter it is, the better it is for you, which means you'll sip on it slowly. Yes, sip on your drink slowly too. That's also another point actually that I had forgotten. Do not overindulge. You do not have like 3 glasses of cocktails within an hour, or you know, like you're being chased or something. No, sip on your drink. Take your time. You don't need to rush yourself, but always manage what you're drinking. Do not let yourself get drunk on a first date. No, that's like the worst thing that could happen to a lady, even to a gentleman anyway. Do not let yourself get drunk. So at any one moment for you to lose sense of where you are, of what you're doing, no. So watch what you drink, okay? Watch what you drink, how much you drink, all right? So number 3, Oh, that was our number 3 actually. Do not have too many drinks. Yes, we talked about that. He blended into our number 2. So our number 4, again, this goes into pizza now. We had this discussion over the weekend with my friends. And they asked, why weren't we allowed to finish our food or something of the sort? No. I know you could have heard that ladies, when you're on a first date, do not finish your food or something. No, of course, go ahead and finish your food, especially if it's something light, and a nice portion, a small portion. Please finish your food, why not? Okay? But if it's something large, let's say you've ordered for a pizza and it happens to be one size which is 8 huge slices. Ladies, I'm sorry, but please do not finish that pizza on your own. Do not eat it all, please. You could pack a doggy bag if you want to, okay? Though, of course, there's some, when you go etiquette-wise, they say don't pack doggy bags depending on where you are and everything. But you could pack a doggy bag, which would be okay. But please don't finish that whole pizza. First of all, you feel so uncomfortable. You get too full. You'll be very so body cautious. And, you just can't sit. A lady cannot sit and eat 8 huge slices of a large pizza. I know you can at your house or later on the 5th date, 6th date, and now you know each other. It doesn't matter. But first date, ladies, mind the portions. Mind what you order for. Okay? Mind the portions. Eat what you can have. Okay, but do not do too much. But then also, do not leave too much food on your plate because they told you have to eat very little on a date. So you just eat about 2 forks or 3 forks and then you're done. No, eat your food. But just mind the portions you order for. All right? But don't be forced to finish in case it's too much. Okay, in case it's too much. Depending on the portions that you're given anyway. Again, that goes for a large pizza, right? Then, ladies, I know you're going to say you're modern ladies, you're, 21st century, whatever it is, you have to do things your way, independent women, but no. Do not offer to pay on a first date. Do not offer to pay on a first date, especially since you have been asked out, if you have been asked out. If a gentleman asks you to go on a date with him, no. Ladies, you shouldn't pay. You should not pay on a first date. Okay? He should be responsible enough to do that for you since he asked you out. So it's unless you ask the gentleman out, that's a bit different. So maybe you could. But if he has an interest in you, you have to see how serious he is anyway. Okay? How much he wants this and how seriously he takes you, how much he values you. So those are just little things you should look out for too. If the gentleman waits for you to bring your contribution on a first date, yet he asked you out, I think that should raise a few question marks for you. Okay? Unless, of course, there are those cases. I have heard of so many cases, honestly speaking, where a gentleman forgot his wallet or something, or he forgot his card, then maybe you could rescue him. But most gentlemen I know who've been in such scenarios work it out. He will run to the bathroom, run away somewhere, call his buddy. His friend will help him, sort him out, send him mobile money, do something quickly without you knowing that he's actually had a dilemma. Okay? So I honestly don't think that it's right. It actually isn't right at all. Again, especially since you have been asked out. Then, number 5, I should say, do not be afraid to ask questions. This will go into a different topic another time, but I just thought also that, I should mention that. At times we see all these movies or hear things or read things, and at times we tend to play dumb. No, ladies, do not play dumb on your first date. It's not worth it. Be yourself. So ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Ask questions. There's somebody I listened to who said that dating is to do with collecting data. So you are collecting data. So if you don't ask, how will you know? Do not be afraid to ask questions on your first date. Of course, don't be too invasive, don't be too hard, don't be like you're interviewing this person, but it helps quite a lot for you to get information on your first date. Do not act dumb, be interesting, mind the conversation. Okay, know the things you should talk about. I have a video about conversation skills. Know the things you should talk about and those you shouldn't. mention maybe on the first date, talk about, bring up or something. You could know, you know those things. Don't get into politics too much. Yes, don't get into religion too much too, could be health issues or something, and you have to mention that I don't know, some things, some health issues that maybe you could not mention on the first date, or something like that. But avoid topics that are also no-nos on a first date. But ask questions, leading questions that make the conversation also quite interesting. Get to know your partner, get to know your date. It really, really helps, and it helps the conversation to go. So don't be sort of person where the gentleman is the only one who asks questions, and when they ask you a question, you just answer with 2 words or just a yes or a no. That's a boring date, okay? So your conversation has to flow, and a conversation flows through questions. If he asks something, you ask the same, ask back, or, use it to lead the conversation. Do not act dumb on a first date. Then, last one. Ladies, I know you've been asked out on a date and you've gone to this special place and you feel like now this is my chance or something like that. Then you decide to order for the most expensive bottle on the menu, the most expensive meal on the menu that you might not even know how to pronounce, and order for 4 courses of a meal because you have been asked out on a date, and maybe because he seems like he's well off. No. Ladies, do not do that. Do not do that. Unless he offers that bottle of wine, and then yes, why not? But just be considerate. Be considerate. It's just good manners. It's courtesy. You're not punishing this person. This person has been courteous enough to ask you out. So just be courteous enough to also watch and mind the budget. Okay? Because I know you didn't want it done to you either. So don't go with a vengeance or something and say, oh, now I have to show this guy that, I'm this type of person. I have to order. No, not at all. Just mind the budget, okay? So ladies, those are just my 6 no-nos on a first date. I'll keep on sharing quite a number because there's so many. But I hope this video has helped. I hope you've learned something. Please share, like, and subscribe. Also mention a couple of topics that you want me to talk about, okay? But make sure you mind how you act around others. Show respect. So if I'm to run through all the 6, or should I say 8, because I started with the lady who had her shades on. Respect the other person, always. So have your shades off. Eye contact and smile, always, okay? Eye contact and smile. Be courteous to this person. No shades, no handbag on the table, okay? Do not order for spaghetti or it will splash. Avoid ordering for beer on a first date, okay? Have something ladylike, something feminine, which would be good. Do not have too many drinks, okay? Manage your intake of alcohol, okay? Don't order for a large pizza and finish it and eat it all. No, don't do that. Ladies, do not offer to pay on the first date, especially if you have been asked out by a gentleman. Do not be afraid to ask questions. Don't act dumb. Ask questions. And do not order for the most expensive item on the menu just because you want to prove something to this gentleman. Be considerate. Okay, ladies, thank you very much. Oh, and gentlemen who are watching, thank you very much. And I'll see you again later. Okay? Bye-bye.